Hello, lovelies. Okay, so I want you guys to let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I'm gonna pull this up also on my iPad. I know last time it was a little bit of a challenge because you guys couldn't hear me loud and clear. So let's try this. We have a fun setup here today. All right. Fun setup here today. All right, so first time seeing how all of this looks. Hi guys, welcome. Oh, hi Dee, good to see you, love. All right, so I just want to make sure, let me sit down. I can probably see everything here. So every week the goal is to get better and better with the whole production of things. Whew. All right, let's see. All right, so there's just a little bit of echo right now because I'm testing things out. So do bear with me, please. And yes, the wind was like blowing out my hairstyle today, so it's a little bit crazy, but it's okay. We're in celebration mode. And let me switch the screen here. I'm really excited because I was able, right before going live, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do this. Let me turn down the volume here. So Dee, let me know if the audio is fine, or whoever is watching live, can you let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear, because I don't want to go through this entire presentation and find out that it's not necessarily clear as I would love for it to be. So just let me know in the chat if you're hearing me. Okay, let's see. Oops. All right. So I'm hoping, since I turned it down, that it's fine. Thank you, Dee. All right, so I didn't want to send a reminder for this particular live because I wasn't so sure how it was going to be, knowing that this is my first time um, doing all of this extra stuff. So I was able to get the Elgato um, Stream Deck a while back, and now I'm finally going to put it to use. Can you believe that? It's just such a glorious day to create and just to be able to fearlessly show up together on this super sweet Sunday. So please do let me know in the chat what you're most excited about on this glorious day. Hope you enjoyed a day of worship and service. And once again, if you can, just let me know if the audio is fine. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for bearing with me. So I'm going to go to this next screen here, and hopefully I know there's a delay, so hopefully it's showing on your end here in a moment that I was able to switch my screen. I'm hoping I'll see that. Oh, okay. So let's go back to the previous screen because I need to enter back my password so you can see my table and see what I am sharing here today. All right, I may have to take this off, so just a moment, bear with me. All right, because we have this all set up nice and clear. So over on the video there, and let's get back to the screen so you can see what we're going to be working with today, what we're going to be creating together. All right, so let's get back to that view. All right, and we want to zoom it out a little bit so you'll see everything there. You're even seeing my little tea and all the extra fun stuff. Awesome. All right, so this is what I started working on, and I was like, oh, it would be really fun to do this with you all. You guys know, some of you know, wonderful Dee, thank you for letting me know it sounds good. So you guys know that I have two brands, And we primarily, with the Fearless Creator brand, we're helping people to build their brands, build their reach and what it is they're called to fearlessly create, and finding effective ways to fearlessly share their stories, what they have to offer as a solution to someone's problem out there, because you're needed, your gift is needed. And so we have our summits and we do all these other fun things fearlessly together in community. But then I have the Radiant Pearl Living, and that was started off as a blog with all the creative things from our planners that we've designed and so many of you use. And we have the Radiant Pearl prayer journals. These are actual physical products as well as digital products. And so an element of that and what has really grown this brand is creativity, is Bible journaling, crafting, scrapbooking, planning, all the pretty things, right? And so this has always been a part of my heart because I just love creating pretty things and inspiring others to create pretty things as well. So I wanted to get back to, with this season, with Christmas around the corner, so many of you have opted in to include one of your beautiful, fearless, radiant creations in the gift guide, the holiday gift guide. And so I can't wait for us to have our meeting where we're going to talk about the entire strategy and how everything is going to flow, because my, oh my, you guys are in for a treat in terms of beautiful gifts available to you for the holidays that you can order, and you can support one another. And of course, we'll have our items, Radiant Pearl, the planner, the journals, all the pretty things. Oh my gosh, so much stuff is on the way. You will not believe just the incentives to just give, and to be a blessing during this most glorious time of the year, which is the holiday Christmas season, from Thanksgiving to Christmas. So I wanted to just create a shaker card with you. So I have some of these elements already put together. So this is really fun. I'm going to include this in my scrapbooking. And what I did, I have, and I showed you guys this in the unboxing, which was the previous video. And my goal is that every single week we're going to get better and better, right? We cannot remain at the same place that we were even a week ago. We're changing, we're growing, and we're always soaring together. So I'm really excited about that. And I have two of my journals here. One is operating more like a binder for my stamps, because my stamp collection is growing. And I showed you in my shorts recently how I created this so that it would fit into this particular binder, simply using a duct tape. And then, yes, oh, love creativity as well. So amazing. So we just add this particular, all of your packaging already that you received, you would go ahead and just add that into your plastic, these pouches. And I saw a little secret or a little fun thing to keep it closed so that it doesn't come out, and I'm going to have to order those so that I can maximize and utilize that. So yeah, so there's a lot. I don't have as many stamps as some people would have, and I'm still getting my binder together, as you can see here. But just to give you an idea of what is to come, I'm going to have that fully organized, and I can't wait to flip through and show you once it is, okay? So that was in reference to the shorts, and I am going to do another shorts tomorrow. I'm trying to make Monday my shorts day. If I'm not able to do it every day, then at least on Monday as a follow-up from our creative session on Sundays. So that's with that binder. Now with this binder, I've already decided I'm going to use, of course, some page protectors, and it is going to be more of that scrapbook style. And so that's where I'm going to use this. I have a printable camera, and I've been taking pictures like crazy during this season, so I can't wait to show the progress. This is going to be a memorabilia of some sort, and I'm going to create a whole page And I can't wait to create that whole scrapbook page with you all when we do decide to do that. Let's see what's going on. So I'm seeing here, I need to probably, let's see if we can take off the lock screen. I'm seeing that you guys are freezing. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm gonna switch back to the other screen. Bear with me. See, I told you, we just keep getting better and better, right? As time goes on. Let's see here. I am hoping that it's turning around back to me. Let me see and just make sure before. Okay, great. All right, so what I'm going to do is remove the lock screen, and so that should really help with making sure that you can keep watching what I have on my table as we go into the crafting. So let's remove that. And I'm so glad to hear, oh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful day. And one of the things I love doing while crafting is listening to some glorious worship, but I know YouTube is kind of iffy about that because they don't want you to play other people's music without their rights. So we're just going to keep it nice and relaxing together, okay? All right, so let's see what's going on with removing the lock screen. Under the general, and thought I would see it under the control center. Okay, it's not under home. Screen. Does anyone have an iPhone as well? I did this a while back. It's just escaping me right now. I'm in my general and I just want to remove my lock screen. Let's see. I may have to quickly Google it because I'm not remembering. What do they call it? Pregnant brain? I don't know. I am usually very good at finding things like this. So let me just quickly Google how to unlock my iPhone. All right. I should say how to remove the lock. How to remove iPhone lock screen. There we go. Move. iPhone lock. There we go. All right, so we go to settings on iPhone and touch ID and passcode. Let's go back to the settings. iPhone. There we go. Face ID and passcode. right, I think that will do it. So I removed the iPhone lock screen and the requirement to put in a passcode. So let's see if that does it, guys. Thank you for being patient with me here. So we'll definitely work on getting at least one project done together today. All right, so let's go back, and we should be able to go back to our lovely view. Let's see here. All right. All right, so back to the next screen here. All right. All right, so with this particular project, just giving you an idea of what is to come, we are going to focus on this particular creation. So what I did already here, I'm doing a few designs, and I'm excited that we're doing some of these together. I didn't like how pale this was because I want to see the defined lines so that I can do some painting. So that's why I opted for another one that did allow me to have the defined flower, and I think it's perfect because it's almost like a blooming of sort, and the gift is within in the middle there, right? And it makes me think about that miracle that is being released in our lives, whether physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, in all the ways, right? D says wallpaper. Does it remind you of a wallpaper? And then we have, so what I used for this one, just so you all know what I'm using, and I will link it in the replay for those who want to recreate what I'm creating. So this is the Vicky Bouton, hopefully I'm saying her name correctly, line, and her Fernwood inspiring stamps. So that's what I used for this particular stamp, and it's still on my stamper. So this is my We Are Memories Keeper Precision press. They're advanced ways that you can, of course, get both all the different stamps aligned and keep it aligned until you are done with it. So it allows you to do multiple projects at once. So I really love that. All right, so we have that there, and what I did, I lined it up yesterday or last night, and what I want to do is I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of projects because I have all these amazing tools that need to be used up, and it's just going to be fun, right, to see. So that is going a little bit, yeah, so it's right there on it. I may want to put it up just a little bit further, yeah, so that we make sure that this fully goes on the page. So even a little bit further, right there in the center of 1 and 2. Let's do that. Oh, you're not seeing me seeing it fully. Let's go ahead. Thank you. The blossoms are fun, aren't they? So let's put this a little bit further up. Is that better? I think that's better. So the paper that I'm using is the Distress. I've had this for a while. So look in your stash, see what you already have. So this is the Distress watercolor cardstock, and because I'm going to do some watercolor, right? So I can't wait to see the final result of this. So we have, let's see, oh, this needs to go further down rather than up because we want it to go fully on the page there. Perfect. Let's work with this a little bit more. All right, that's good. All right, so the great thing about this, all right, so let's see. I want to make sure that it's set correctly. Yeah, so it's just enough off the page. And so what I'm going to do with this stamp here that says "Just for You" with the heart, I am going to be embossing that. If you guys have seen any of my Bible journaling tutorials, one of the most recent ones in the conference that I had participated in just for Bible journalers. We had done, that was my first time using dyes, right? To teach on dyes, and it was my first time using it. And it was so much fun. I was like, oh, no wonder people love dyes so much. And now I have a little stash and collection of dyes, but I also did embossing because I feel like embossing is such a quick and fun way to make things beautiful and official. So what I'm going to do, instead of me using my pad, let's see here, I am going to use my embossing dabber. So this embossing dabber is also by Ranger. So let's go ahead, and I don't need to take this full thing off. All we need to do is take off the very top, right? So they advised that the first thing you want to do, I'm going to use a scrap right here that I used to create one of the flower pieces. So let's dab this just to make sure that there it is, it's coming out. Awesome. And then we are going to dab the Just For You, as well as the heart that's on the stamp, right? So that's a lot of clear liquid going on there already, so that's good. And then now we've just got to put it back in place, so let's do that. All right, and just push it down. All right, so there it is. Just a little stamp there, and then I'll have to do a view, set up a view where we can do a little up close shot in the future. All right, so there it is. I have to just put it up so you can see. Let's move this stuff out of the way so it doesn't get messed up, because we are about to do, and you just want to have a plain white paper. I'm going to use this paper because this is what I'm going to use as one of my cards, and it's already creased. So let's just do that, and let's add. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit mushed because I'm seeing here it looks like it's possible that it could get a little mushed, but we'll make the best of it here. All right, so we're getting Just For You. There we go. Isn't that fun? My heart isn't as defined. It looks a little mushed, but it's okay. This is the first one. We have multiple ones that we'll be working with, so this will be a kind of a little testing ground to see what is best. All right, so that is one. Let's put this one to the side. And since I already have some of the embossing powder here, let's do a few more, and we're not going to let it be so wet this time. All right, let's do it on this one that's a little bit pale, because I can always draw that part in. I can redefine it so that it really stands out as it should. All right, so let's do this one, and let's set this one to the side so we'll have two of them to work with at a time, at least two. And I'll put this one back on. Let's see here. Yep, it is still there, and it is still wet. All right, so see where we wanted this to go. Like last time, it was right in the center of. That's why I love these little measurements, so we can make sure that it's going where it needs to. A little bit further down. All right, that should be good. I'm not going to mush it down too much because I want it to be more defined. There we go. All right, so we've got that done again, and now we're going to add our embossing. Let's just put this over right there. And we're just going to use our embossing powder again. Actually, this is what we're using to catch the powder. So let's just put this back in. And then we'll just put it back on here. Uh-oh. Is my lock screen going off again? Oh. I took off the lock. Sorry about that. I'm going to have to look up how to remove the lock, guys. I'm so sorry about that. It's a good thing I looked up to see what was going on there on the screen, so I really appreciate. No, it wasn't you, Dee, for some reason. Let's see. Put it back on video. I'm not so sure why it keeps locking even though I took off the lock screen. So I'll have to play around with this later and make sure that that doesn't happen again. But what I just did, let me go back to the next screen so you can see what I just did. I guess you missed what I was showing, and it showed a lot better. All right, let's see. Yeah, so it showed a lot better with the, so now I'm just adding the embossing powder again because I didn't smush it down as much as I did the other one where it kind of got a little bit globbed up. All right, so that's much better. See, we have a more defined heart there. And let's make sure we've gotten all of our letters and all of the different detailing that we need to see with the powder. All right, so that's good. All right, so now both of those are done with the embossing. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back in, all the extra that we don't need. And just so you know what I'm using right now in terms of my on my table here, I've added the silicone mat by scrapbook.com. So of course I'm going to tag all the things that I used here so you don't have to worry and wonder what is what, right? All right, so let's turn on our heat gun, and with these two that we've done thus far, we're gonna go ahead and really get this embossed, right? So we have two versions, one that looks like a blob. All right, and then we have this one. There we go. So that's a lot more defined. You can see that it was trying to warp a little bit, but look at that. So much more defined. But you get the gist if you're holding this in hand, that it's just for you with a heart shooting out, just like the flower and the sweet saying here, sweet miracles on the way. All right, that's the one that's more blob-like, but now it's all dry. All right, and what we're going to do with these two, we want to go ahead, and I left a little bit off the stamp that I used for the shaker card that we're also going to make. And here we go. I feel like I need to keep an eye on this screen and touch it to make sure it doesn't go black again. All right, so for the shaker card, I already cut out the flower. And what I did, this is my inside piece. So that's the flower inside piece. And then I cut out the outside for the shaker. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut with you the actual acetate so that we can put the acetate with this on the inside of this so you can see me set up our shaker card, okay? So I do have here the stamp that I used. It's a part of the stamp set. Let me make sure that I show you the stamp set that I used for this one. Just in case you would like to utilize it as well. So I used this stamp set. This is by Maggie Holmes. And so it has hello, beautiful, and then another floral right there. You need to swipe finger from right. Okay, let's see. You need to swipe finger from right corner to down and upwards, right, to remove the lock screen or settings. Yeah, I did do the passcode off, which is why I'm wondering why it's trying to come back on. So I'll just keep making sure, at least for now, because we won't be much longer, and I'll test and do some other things to see we can make sure that that doesn't happen in the future. But I will have to try that swipe thing for sure, Dee, because I really want to get that fixed. Okay, so hello, beautiful. So I stamped those already, and what I used for that is our stays on ink. I'm gonna make sure that you guys all see what I used. So that's this. I use the stays on ink for that. All right, let's put this back. All right, so if you wanted to recreate that, that's what I utilized. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my area here. So we don't need this or this anymore. Just get everything back in its place so we don't lose anything. There we go. On this side. There we go. All right. So I think there was also, that's fine. All right, so we're gonna go, let's use the die machine now. I'm using the Cuttlebug. And so I'm gonna go ahead and have my sandwich, and how I created these particular cutouts is how I'm going to also create this one. So the die that I used, and I'm going to go ahead and utilize for this as well. Oh. I have to keep coming back. It's a good thing I did use my screen deck. Let's see. All right, so we removed an orientation lock off. So I know you said swipe finger from right, that's what I did, to down, and then upwards to remove. All right, because I did turn off the passcode before. Let's see, move the lock. That is a little annoying, isn't it? I don't know what this one does. Okay, screen mirroring. We don't need to screen mirror. And what is that one? Settings. Lock. Because it happened so quickly this time, and I don't want to keep having to do that. All right, let's see. Unlock. Removed that. All right, just gonna hope for the best here. Let's get back to this video. Thank you, my darling. Okay, so it's back on video. Thank you for bearing with me. We'll have to get that sorted the next time, the next go around. Right? There's always something, but we just keep getting better. It's okay. It's not going to be perfect the first time, nor the second time, but we just, as long as we're getting better. Right, so we're going back to the next scene. Probably need to keep going back and forth to previous and next screen just so that it can stay engaged and active. All right, so I did show you the cuddle bug that I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and cut this die. And we will return to this project at a later time, but I want to do this shaker card because it's just too much fun not to do, right? All right, so this is the same size. You can see right here, we want it to be this exact same size. So this is the size that I used for this one. So we're going to use this again for this particular piece. And I know they mentioned when you're doing acetate, you may want to also have a cardstock. So that's what I'm going to do when we're putting it into our sandwich, because I know that there's going to be a card backing as well that I'll want to create at the bottom. So let's do that. The same folded card that I used earlier is I'm making my own little makeshift card. So we're going to do our sandwich. All right, and with this particular sandwich, this will be at the bottom. And we already have everything set up right here in my little stash as to the order of things. So this is what I'm going to put as my order. So first we have the A block that I'll put through. All right, it's going to go through that way, and then I want this to be the right size. So I'm going to cut this. It's not gonna cut as straight because I'm using my smaller scissors, my little small unicorn scissors. But it's gonna be okay because that's not gonna be a part of our card, because I am going to also create, there we go. Yeah, create the card like so, or shaker card. Alright, so let's go ahead. So we'll cut from right here. Alright. What model do I have? So this Cuttlebug is, I think, the most recent one that they had come out with. When I got it, I don't think they had another one that came out afterwards. And so I think it's the most recent one. And I had gotten it at Cricut, Cricut.com. So I certainly will make sure that I show exactly which one it is I got. And I'll link that in the description. All right, so that card, we don't want it to cut all the way through. So it's going to be kind of like that. And then, yeah, so let's do this first, because I have two of them now. And this is the one that I want for my card. So let's do this one as my backing and putting in the sandwich there. And then the next thing in our sandwich, so this doesn't even go in yet. Do this next. And then we do the magic mat. There we go. And then we do this. And then we do this. And we want to cut this. So we'll put this down first. All right. And then, oh my gosh. Still not fixing the problem. Oh my gosh. I don't know why it won't stay unlocked. Oh, this is no fun when the screen does that. And I'm getting so into the crafting too, so that's why I don't remember to always go and do that. Okay, to the next screen. And you know what I'll probably have to do, right? I'll probably have to pull this and create the official video with all the pieces, at least it's being recorded, so we can have that for the finished product. All right, so this is just a fun way of you guys seeing behind the scenes live of it coming together. All right, so it's okay if it doesn't fully fit, because we just want it to cover, we want it to cover the actual shaker card. So the best positioning for that is what we'll do. Let's see if we do it this way. That is going to be more of it. Don't want too much seeping out. All right, that should be good. All right, so now I'm going to use my D. I have my, this is you're talking about the iPhone. I think you were talking originally about the Cuttlebug, right? Oh, you were talking about phone. So this phone is the, I want to believe it's the X. Yeah, because I don't think it had a number. I think it was just the iPhone X. All right, so let's make sure this stays down. Well, we want to cut the acetate, so we need to put it down this way. And then we can tape it down. All right, and then this is the final part of our sandwich. Remembering to touch. this out of the way. My mat as well. I don't want my mat getting messed up. And now let's put some muscle into this. So we should start from the other side. Don't want to have you shaking too much there. I didn't even realize you actually do record in both ways. And then put it through again. And to be on the safe side, I just want to do it one more time. Alright. We'll see how this is going. Alright, so let's see. Let's put this over to the side. Let's put this back. Alright, so we were able to cut through here. Let's see, our acetate is the most important thing that we're trying to cut. Let's see if we were able to get that going through. Alright, so it created like the shape, but it looks like I will have to use my scissors to really go all the way through, and that's okay. We'll have to test it a little bit more with the acetate, and I did see that that can be a problem sometimes. So we'll just cut through so we can finish this project. And isn't that like crafting though? You know, sometimes you just have to make do and do your best with what you've got and get creative. So we're just using our little scissors. Alright. Oh, you're so sweet, Dee. You'll figure it out with me. Yeah, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look up how to make sure that this doesn't keep happening, because I wanted to have more crafty time and not be aggravated. Alright. See here. Coming in. At least we've got the, what is it called? We've got the outline, making things better. And I'm not going to worry too much about all that's getting on the inside, because I do have a solution for that. Just like they say you got an app for that, I've got a solution for that. Alright. This just requires a little bit more time and effort as we cut away all the extraness. Just reminds me of the message, cutting away those weights that easily beset us, pruning away those things that do not belong, and making sure you continue to press towards the mark of the higher calling. Of course, as a believer in Christ Jesus, our Lord. Right, so we're just cutting. I want you to be able to see a little bit of what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go right in and just keep cutting away based on the outline I have here. And I love how precise this particular scissors allows me to be, because it's just little and dainty and to the point. I'm trying to remember to put it in frame. There we go. We are almost there, look. All right. Press. So excited. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some more planning and getting things together, and this is just my little crafty time with you. All right, so now that we have that in its place, we're just going to work on, I love doing a few of the behind the scenes fun things here with you, because then I can show you the finished products in other places, whether it's in the email list or sending it to you by stories or Instagram or any of the other places that we're connected. So we're to make sure we're connected in all the places, right? Let's go ahead and put this sandwich up somewhere. That will have to do for now. And then this is what we want to do. We want to clean this up. Things are getting on my mat. Getting stuck on my mat, rather. All right. You said, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I'm just like keeping an eye out on this. And it would be great to solve it, right while we're live. Press the side button. Slide finger upwards, starting from the bottom of the screen, to turn off lock screen. All right, we'll try that at the end. For now, I am going to keep pressing this. So I am going to use my powder. Let's take a little sip here. We've got to stay refreshed. All right. So I'm using my Pink and Main, and they say just get a little bit of the powder there and use it to get this excess stuff that could cling. Let's make sure it's coming out as it should. There we go. So you have to get a little bit of it on there, and then put that right there. And I'm going to do it on both sides just because I don't exactly know which side I am going to have the sequins on yet. That should do it. All right. And then, let's see. Put that back up, and then, there we go. First time using that, by the way. All right, so now that we've gotten that part done, let's go ahead and work on how we're going to get our shaker in place, the shaker card portion. So this is the backdrop, right? And then we want to add this. Here we go. See, there we go. So this still ends up, once we glue it on, it should be good. So we're going to glue this on first. And we're going to use our Smart Craft glue. Make sure that that's showing clearly for you now, hopefully. Just let it, there we go. I am determined to finish at least this project with you. We are not going to let anything stop us from getting what we need to get done. Okay, I think I need to remove this first. Yep. So if you've got it brand new, There we go. There's a little piece that needs to be removed first. And then we put it back on. Who said crafting is going to be clean? No, no, no. It can be a messy ordeal, but it's worth it in the end, the finished product, right? All right, so let me get my tissue. And I've got wipes over here too. All right, so let's go ahead and add this shaker where it needs to go. So I'm just gonna add my glue right across the very edges. All right, for now, let's move this out of the way. All right, lots of precision there, huh? Would you have, let's see, would you have run the acetate through the Cuttlebug twice? Would it have made a difference? You know, I ran it through twice, so I don't know what else needed to be done to get it to really stay. Let's see here. Let's just get it, just so that it's not going to be too much blob. Just spreading it a little with my hands because it's okay to get messy. Yeah? All right. And then I wipe the excess on my tissue. All right, let's get this. I feel like I need to re-powder this because there's so much going on. Let's re-powder this part so that nothing sticks. At least nothing that you don't want to stick, like the sequins. All right. So all right, you see that? So it's getting all the areas here. We'll clean that up later. Try to get it all in place. There we go. Let me get my wipes. That actually dries pretty quickly because I already feel it more on the sticky side rather than wet side, and I don't want my place to get too messy. So let's go ahead and clean up while we're working. Get out a little bit more so you can see more of my table. All right. And I want to clear up just a little bit of my card. Where the glue has gotten. There we go. And I'll probably have to use my powder again, right? So that it's going to be not so sticky with the glue. All right, so that side is fine. This is where it really needs to be not too sticky because that's gonna touch the sequins. So let's let that dry just a little bit there. All right, so after we've done that, so we know we're going to want there to be room for this to go on here, right? So that's what we're putting on right here. So let's go ahead. My little window is not as clear as it was before the glue got all over it. So I'm gonna just do a little bit more wiping because I want it to be smoother and clearer. And let's clear off the rest of this. All right, and then let's add our powder. Right, so guess what I'm finding out, guys? You don't want to use on your acetate, you don't want to use your actual baby wipes because it's making it messy looking. Oh my gosh, we're learning together, aren't we? All right, so this is just going to be the first draft. It's all right, doesn't need to be perfect. It's just we've got this one done together, and then I will make another one keeping that in mind, so we'll have that finished product without any of the messiness, okay? So the glue that I'm using is the Smart Craft Glue. All right, so that was also, I got like so many things during SBC Fest, and that was one of them. Y'all, I'm not liking how messy this looks. I don't want to waste the other parts, so matches my bag. You're talking about my cricket cuddle bug. Yeah, I love my mint all around, mintiness. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to recut the acetate and the flower part. Let's see if I already had created one with the outline. No, so I have to create another one of those. So this is a good idea, guys. Make sure that you, when you're gonna do like a presentation or show something, you want to make sure that you do 2 of them just in case something messes up. You won't have to redo the entire process. So bear with me a moment, but I am to a degree a perfectionist, so I just have to get this part right. So just a moment here. I'll be right back. Keep looking at the beauty. get the show on the road. So we're gonna just go ahead and redo the portion that I believe got too messy to use. Let's see here. Alright, so do you guys know what you should use in order to get your two your blossom matches your bag? Okay. The alcohol ink, is that what you're referring to? Alright, so we have to use, this is, and I didn't even show you this earlier, I should show you this. But the outside that I'm using, which is this paper, comes from the shimmer paper pad here, which you can get at any craft store. So it just has a lot of different shimmer paper, and so I chose to use the mint green since it kind of went with the color scheme there. Alright, and then the background one paper is from the Prima pad, and these are all the different designs that are in the Prima pad one. Really beautiful florals and the color scheme that I'll be using for this project. Alright, so those are those two. So I already have some cuts. I'm just gonna go ahead and get those into my Cricut. Alright, so you have to make sure your hands are clean when you're working with acetate. Like, look how this is already getting messed up with, I think, glue or something. Thankfully I have enough, but I want it to stay as clean as possible. So let's move these things out of the way and let's make sure our mat is good to go. It does have a few little things on it, but it's okay. Let's try this one more time. We want a nice clear space that isn't going to mess up my acetate and all the other things that we're using today. Alright. Let's feel this so much smoother. Alright. I think some of the powder got on it too, which is why it felt the way that it did. Alright. So we've got our acetate, which, like I said, this is the Hero Arts acetate card panels. But we are going to cut first this, and the way to do the double portion is we are going to have to use both of the dies. So I'm going to pull out both of the die sizes here. Here we go. so we want to line this up. Both of these pages, and I'm going to cut this first. So we don't need all of this. Put away the pieces we're not using. And then line these up so we can get our full view here of what's going to be cut out. Alright, so once we've lined it up, we're going to use our mint tape. There we go. And make sure that it's in the right places here. Alright, that should be good. Do you see that? Alright, so now we are going to use our mint tape. And we must remember that this is the part that needs to go down, because that's the part that's going to cut. This edge needs to go down on the piece of paper. It's a good thing we caught that there. All right. There we go. And we always remember, because the mint tape is going to be jagged going through if it was the other kind. If it was the other side, I should say. Alright, so we've got our sandwich already in its rightful place. So let's just add this. What position's better? Yeah, that should be good. There we go. And then we're gonna get everything lined up. And we're gonna have to go through. Let's move this mat out of the way first, since it creates a little bit of mess there. You always want to have it coming through one end and going to the next. All right. I like to bring it through double time just in case. There we go. See that? It creates a little bit of a mark because the bottom there. So now we've got this part cut out. Let's go ahead, and I could just do two at a time, but we've already used enough time, so I'm not going to do that. But like I said earlier, whenever you're doing a project, you may want to do two at a time, just so that if one messes up, you have a fallback. But at least you get to see how I created this one. Alright, so we're done with that, and we have an extra fun piece to use there in our scrapbook. And this is going over to our pieces right there to the side. Alright. Alright, let's put our sandwich back right there for now. And then let's try the acetate. We're doing the acetate so that it's clean. Ah, wipe it with alcohol. I see what you mean now, Dee. Okay, like wiping the acetate with alcohol instead of wipes. Okay, so that's something I'll have to try. All right, so we said we're going to use this. So I used the bigger one last time just to make sure that it fully goes, but you know what, I could have used a smaller one because honestly it is the smaller one, right? You see that? It is a smaller one that, and look, the small one fits right in there. So let's try that. See, we're actually figuring out something better, something more now that we're doing it. So let's try. We're learning and growing together. Let's try this, just the acetate this time. And you know what? They did say don't use Magic Matte. They did say that, so that may make a difference. Will it be thick enough? That's the question. Let's see if when we try to do the sandwich, if it's thick enough. May need to do a piece of cardboard, piece of paper. Let's try that. I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out now that we're testing another way. Let's see if it will be sandwichy enough. And let's not forget to use our tape so that it stays in place. And just one should be enough. Let's try this again. Don't think it's going to go through because it's not thick enough. So we do need to have the Magic Matte somewhere so that it will be thick enough. We'll put it down here. Let's see if that makes a difference. There we go. Right, so that's one. Happy accidents. feel like it's cutting. I'm hoping that it's cutting. So that I won't have to recut it on the scissor with the scissors. Let's see. All right. Oh, I hesitate right here. Guys, it only made the imprint again. I don't know what's going on. Now we got ourselves a lovely little, what kind of star is that? All right, so back to using our scissors here. And since it's smaller, hopefully you'll find, let's get this up a little bit more so you can see some of that part right there without me having to get too close. Just go into those little areas and come on up. It's okay if it's not very precise, because guess what? We want it to be able to fit fully over the thing anyways. So not too close is actually better. Alright. I should be doing it a little bit past the area. Let it just be a guide. Alright, so we've got our star. Let's get these out of the way. Now let's get back our items that we are using in place. The items we are not out of place. Alright, so it's just going to be right in those areas now, right at the edge. Alright, so let's add our glue again, and we're not going to make it be too much because we don't want it to seep through and get messy. So that may mean here, let me get that out of the way, only do little edges. Let's get back a little bit closer. just an idea, one way to not let this be an issue is to use the other kind of tape as well. But we're just going to let this be what we use for now, since this is what we tried to use the last time and found that there was just a little bit of the mishap. Okay, can you see? Yes, you can see. Yes, it's still working. I realize that too. Guess what, guys? We should not use this kind of glue at all on shaker cards. So next time we're just going to use the tape, okay? So that we're not having a hard time trying to get everything in its place. But we're just going to keep moving forward because, you know, sometimes what do we say? Done is better than perfect. But at least it's not as bad as it was before. But you are right. Definitely want to use alcohol. This is cleaning the space very well. But alcohol, if you're going to put it on your project, that may work better. All right. Just clearing up my hands because my hands got all sticky. I think it's dried now. Let's see if this looks better than the one I did before. All right, this one is still drying. All right, so that's good to know. We need to give it time. So this is the one that we tried to use before. Let's see if we tried to add it here, if it would be too messy. From afar, it doesn't look too bad. And you know what? It's the first project, so it's okay if it's not perfect. It's okay if it's not perfect. All right, so look at this. So we have that down, and we'll show a comparison of using this glue, Smart Craft Glue. It says dries clear and remains tacky. So that versus using this one. Yeah, Dee, I just saw your message. Using this tape. This is a double-sided tape. It's just that it's a little bit thicker than the edge of this, so that's why I wasn't using it at first. But it may actually just be better. So let's see here. So we can later on do a comparison of one over the other. I was trying to think if I have alcohol. I do have alcohol, but it's way in another room. And it takes so much energy for me right now to go from one room to the next sometimes. So I'm just going to not bother to try and do that. So let me just try to clear it up one more time. I think it's the powder that made it look like this. All right, so let's see. Is it going to be too bad? What do you think? Let's get a vote. Should we use this, guys? Should we use this one to finish building our shaker card? Yay or nay? Let me know in the chat. Should we move forward with using this one? Or should I try it again for the third time and use the double-sided tape? You let me know what you think. I'll wait for you to let me know what you think in the chat, and we'll go forward with whatever you decide. Because what I have to do now is add the this one, the thicker double-sided tape, and we're going to add our sequins as well, so that we can finish this particular project, and we'll do another project another evening. Getting my lovely sequins together while I wait for your votes. Oh, hi, Sister Sheila. So, which one are you voting for? You put a thumbs up. Are you voting for me doing the one that we have right now that is a little bit messy? Or do you think we should try and do a cleaner one with this tape? What do you think? See, my perfectionist brain wants to just do third time's a charm, but I want to know what you guys think is best so that it's not just me deciding. Tape. Okay. You're a perfectionist like me, Sister Sheila. Love that. All right. So, let's give each other a break. I'm going to run and get something, and go ahead and take your break as we're crafting. You know, breaks are so invaluable when you're crafting because it's just so much that can go awry. So I'm gonna go ahead and be right back. So see you in a moment, and we will get the tape one going so we can make sure we get this right. You guys are amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so let me get my other stuff in place. And yes, third time will be a charm. So that, and clear up your space. What is it? It's Sunday night. Get your place in order. And let's have some fun. So we use tape this next time. Move all of the mess out of the way. All right, I'll be back. You see all my mess? All right. we're back. Are you guys still hanging out here? Yay! All right. All right, so how was your break? I hope you enjoyed taking a little break here with me. And you're so sweet. I already got all the materials out, so I'm just gonna make it happen. No worries at all. And we already have some of the things here we need. So let's do this first. Right, so putting these back into place, and I probably should cut this so it can go through my cotton bag. So let's cut this properly. This was originally a huge scrapbook paper pad. Now it's just almost a square. I'm so excited though that we're getting to make this together. It's a whole lot more fun than trying to create your own process video on your own. So you're getting behind the scenes footage because I'm not going to keep this up. Just so you know, this is too long of a video and too many breaks and too many mishaps to keep it up as a video for people to watch and get what they need to get out of it. So I will redo this video and you guys are seeing the fullness, right? All right. So we want this to line up as best as possible there. I think that's good. Uh-oh, what happened? That was weird. It just went black for no reason. Alright, so we've got that in place. And I've got some more tape. Let's get this tape right over the side. And that should keep it all in place. Alright, let's get our sandwich. The weirdest thing is happening. I don't know why that's happening. Alright, so what's going to be our sandwich, right? This was actually underneath with our magic mat. Right there. And then we have our flower frame. And then we have our top B frame. Oh no, it's not UD. I don't know what was going on there. Alright, and then let's go ahead and get this up with my little messy thing showing at the bottom because this creates that effect for some reason. So like I was saying earlier, I'm so excited about the gift guide. Oh, we have some of the most beautiful submissions for the holiday gift guide that we'll be creating and publishing on the blog, so that you guys can get beautiful gifts from fearless creators. And Radiant Pearls who are in our community who submitted their beautiful work, handiwork. Some of them are ornaments, some of them are personalized goodies. I mean, oh, so talented, so creative, surrounded by creative, talented people. All right, so that was quick and easy. Let's get the tape up first. And I'm thinking after a while, when you create so many beautiful things, you want to give them away. You don't want to hoard them, right? I wonder if it's because my thing is heating up. I don't know. I'm just going to hope for the best here. All right, so we've got this and we've got this. So we've got both pieces again. All right. Let's get these out of the way. This time I'm going to use the bigger one again to do our top part. So we're just using this. All right. Guys, third time's a charm. All right, we have another flower, another pretty flower to use. All right, let's get so we have this cut out. Let's get our bigger die and our acetate paper. We're going to use this acetate paper. And I need to wipe my hands so that I don't mess it up. Yeah. Yep, hot phone. That may be doing it. I wonder for people who craft for like hours on end, how they keep it from doing that. I guess they have a cooler, probably have like a what is it, like a fan blowing close by. Probably that's what they do. These acetates, it's so easy for them to get stuff on them, so you want to work with a clear, a clean hand. So we're going to have the acetate, even if it's just going to be an outline, that'll be fine. We're getting to test this again together. Let's see what sandwich will allow us to make it work. What I probably need to get is the magnetic mat. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the magnetic mat. It's just so that it is going to cut properly. So I've done the magic mat, and then I've done, yes D, I am going to edit this down, and I'm going to post the edited version of this, okay? So you guys are just seeing the process video live with me. All right, so that one, let's see, without the magic mat and with cardboard paper. That's what I said I needed to try this time. Cardboard paper. Do we have a thick enough cardboard paper? I don't see one. Hold on just a moment. Let me fold this one and see if we can use this. So this is the paper that I use for the inside, just so you see. I'm folding this to make it thicker so that we can have this go through. Let's see. Right, and then let's tape this down. I don't need to get any more tape up because look, I have quite a bit already from previous times. So let's do that. And then let's add our sandwich. To cut this, it's coming out at the side. Let's just cut this real quick. Still a little bit thick. Hold on. Should be good now. Don't worry guys, you don't always have to go through all of this to create a shaker card, okay? We are just getting it right together. And once you've got it, you've got it. At least with these materials, because I've done shaker cards before, but just not with this material in particular. Uh-oh. Still not thick enough? Alright guys, we'll just have to use the magic mat since it's not thick enough. Probably what other people try precision plate. Ooh, actually it's too it's too thick now. Okay guys, this is too funny. Now it's too thick. Try precision plate from Stampin' Up. So is the precision plate going to just be, let's see, what are we doing with this? Okay, we're not using any paper. If we were going to use a paper, let's just use one. So let's just do one sheet. Since that was too thick. That's so funny. Okay. There we go. So the precision mat that you're talking about by Stampin' Up, is that just going to replace the magic mat? Because the magic mat works with everything but acetate. I did a little bit of a research on that before going live with you all tonight. And that's what I had found out. So there we go. And it may be worth it going through 3 times instead of just twice, just because we know it doesn't cut on the third. I mean on the second time. You guys are in for a ride with me. Look at this shaking that's happening. Okay. This out of the way. And don't worry, that gets right up once you're done. Yep, so it makes our nice little outline there. And let's get this up here. Let's get these out of the way. Oh, are you looking that up right now, Dee, to know about that, or is that something that you're just referring to look up? Or is that where you're finding the information right now as we're speaking? Yeah, I don't know why acetate paper isn't as easy to cut. Alright, so now we are cutting real quick. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be hidden on the other side. Oh, let's sit down for a little bit, yes, while we cut this together. And you really just never know. Why aren't you guys seeing? Oh, there we go now. The delay was quite a delay, so I was like, okay, you guys are still not seeing what I'm doing. But I see that it was just super delayed. You know, crafting is so much better doing with others, right? It's like it can be very therapeutic and calming doing it on your own, but there's just something about knowing that, and this is why we loved Periscope when we used to do Periscope Bible journaling and crafting, just listening to each other craft as well as worship and speak, just like as if we were together crafting in person. Something so serene and beautiful about the entire process, and that's why I'm so excited. We're meeting with a sponsor this week who reached out to sponsor our gala and summit next year, and we've decided that we're going to add some, so you guys are getting all the intel because we haven't shared all the details of this with anyone yet, but make sure you guys add this to your calendar to show up at these events, these crafting sessions live, because you just never know what's going to be shared, right? What I'm going to share with you while we're here. Oh, Dee, yes. You should definitely, it is a workout. It really is. But yes, so we have that particular event, which of course is the gala and award ceremony that we're doing in Atlanta next year, God's willing. But I also found out that because people are going to be traveling for that, we might as well make the most of our time together. And so we are thinking about doing an actual day of workshops on that Saturday following the summit, which will still have a virtual element like we did this year, and the gala awards ceremony and dinner on the first night. We are going to also have workshops where we're going to get crafty together and have sponsors sponsor different rooms so that you guys can get some really great swag bag and goodie bags and all that during our time together following the summit, because that's what we're all about, fearlessly creating in all the ways, right? Not just learning about the business side of things and being profitable, but also maximizing your creativity and artistry. So yes, oh yes, it's gonna be fun. Sister Sheila, you won't have to travel far for this. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so let's see now if this will work well. We said this didn't need to be perfect, and I haven't gotten much stuff on here. The purpose of this, just so you know, is so that you don't get stuff stuck on the actual, what did they say? So that you don't get stuff stuck on the actual plastic when you are looking to have the sequins on that side. So that's why we're doing this powder thing. And then I'm just going to wipe the excess off. Wipe the excess off here. There we go. I taught my seniors for 3 years. Oh my word. That's so, so beautiful. I love that you've put so much time into the generation that really needs to keep utilizing their creativity. All right, so let's see. I'm looking for my little set here. All right, guys, I've decided I don't like what the powder does. Like the powder is supposed to let it not stick, but it makes it look messy. And we don't like mess. We don't like too much mess. So sometimes you just gotta do what really works for you and not what everyone else is saying and what, you know, is recommended by the masses. You really want to make sure that it's something that is going to give the results that you are happy with, right? So right now I'm realizing I am not as happy with that particular tool, and I'm going to rewatch some videos just to make sure that it's not because it's being used wrong, in the wrong way. All right, let's see here. I've got this. Oh yes, patience is a virtue. It sure is. Let's see. And when you're sitting down and crafting, it is so much better than having to stand up and do all the things, right? Let's see here. Ah, there it is. I'm using this as my little example so I don't have to go back over the whole cricket thing. All right, so watch me cut again, watch me cut again. Since we know that, what is it, that the actual Cricut doesn't cut the acetate, at least not in that way. And you know what's interesting is that you don't even have to do the shape, because originally you could just like leave it as a box and then cut the excess off. Like, why didn't we think of that? Maybe because we love doing extra things. But it's good to have like a little module, an example. Yes, this is so much clearer now. So I'm going to use this one. Okay, so we have our cutout piece with our die trying to stick to it. And let's see here. We'll let this be the side. There we go. Let's line it up. There it is. It's lined up now. All right, and so yes, it's a little bit off, but we're just gonna glue it down, and then the excess, I don't know why this keeps trying to come off. Sorry, guys. That's good. All right, so let's go ahead and put the tape. I'm using the tape this time. And there's double-sided tape. All right, so we're just going tape, tape, tape. I don't know how people use the glue and keep it looking not messy. I don't know, guys. I don't know how they do that, but we tried twice and it didn't quite work out. So we're going to go to this method. All right. Let's put our top back on. All right, and then let's line it up with our acetate. And there is a little part here that's a little rugged. Let's get that off. Must have done a very interesting cut there, which is why that's happening. All right, and then let's line it up properly here. To go into the places that it needs to go. Let's see. I really do like the tape so much better because you can position and play around with it till you get it in the right spot. No, that's not where we want it. So it's kind of repositionable until you fully pull it on. All right, so let's turn it this way. Yay! All right, so what we're doing now, what we're gonna do is, now that we have everything covered, we can just cut off the excess parts that we don't need to show. All right. There we go, just getting each of these bits and pieces off. Alright, so we're almost done. We're at the last tail end here. Guys, this is why if someone creates something for you, you don't want to cheat them, right? Because look at the time that goes in sometimes in really mastering your craft and perfecting it to the quality of which you could really be, proud of sending it out to someone who's paying for it. And that's why some people say, no, 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 I'm just giving it away now, until they feel like they're at a level where they can really charge for their craft. So keep mastering. Some of you are taking classes so that you can really become a master at your craft and be pleased with the end result in the process of really being able to see lives transformed with what you create. It's all in the details, right? So we want to pay attention to the details and get things the way we want it. All right, so we've gotten all the little bits and pieces here. And look, it wasn't even that messy after all when we decided to use the tape. So now we know. We live and we learn. We're living and we're learning together. Thank you for hanging in there with me. You guys are amazing. And we're about to wrap things up here. Uh-oh. Where did our screen go? Still on my end. It's just not showing on your end. I wonder why. It will come back soon, hopefully. I want you guys to see what I'm doing. It's so weird. Maybe I need to stop the recording. Maybe that will do it. Let's see. Are you guys still seeing a black screen, or are you seeing what I'm doing? Let me clear up my space here while we're waiting to see what's going on. What's going on? Alright, so we went to that. It's just black now. Why is it black? Okay. It's, I'm trying to get the screen to show again. I plugged it out and I plugged it back in. That is so super weird. Try this one more time. Hmm. See if plugging it out this way will make it work. Just when we're at the end. Come on. Maybe we don't need this one anymore. Let's see, that's the, yeah, we don't need that one. Let's try it in here. Let's try this over here. Coming on now. No, the phone is still recording and it's still on. It's just for some reason with Ecamm Live, it's not connecting. And that's, I think that's the reason why it kept going in and out with a black screen. So I may need to just turn it to the other view since it's not wanting to connect. That is so super weird. Yeah, let's just so you guys can see the ending. That's what I'll probably have to do. Is just show you guys the actual finished result. Oh, that's not nice. Super weird. Alright, so next time what I'll do, I'll have to use the iPad, and I think that will allow things to be better. And I'm just going to keep recording with my phone for the edited version. Let's see. Alright. So that's what we'll have to do. So you're seeing me here record behind the scenes continuum. Alright, since we couldn't get the iPhone to do what it needed to do, and just in case, let me put back in my Stream Deck, just in case it decides that it wants to work again and we can switch the view. And what I could do is get my iPad. Oops. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, so we are recording this on my phone. So we'll keep doing that for the edited version. And let's get all this extra stuff out of the way. So we're gonna have like 3 versions to show. We're gonna have what is like the cleaner version, which was our 3rd times a charm version. All right. I really wish you guys could see it while I'm doing that part live. So sorry that it's not picking up that portion anymore. Alright, but we'll get that edited version up for you guys to enjoy. Let's see here. Alright, so what we have here, this is our best iteration, right? Best iteration right here. This is the one we're going to use. And these were the extra ones that didn't quite work out the way that we wanted. I think it was 2 of them. The other one's over there. All right, so we're gonna go with this version, and it already has some of the actual stickiness on it. Oh, that looks so much better. See? I have to pull it over so you can see it from this angle. See, there we go. For those of you who are watching live, hello, beautiful, so much better. All right, and then we have some extra ones here that will just show the process. All right, so what we want to do now is we're going to use this particular foam tape. And the foam tape we are going to put, right, so we're doing the foam tape right now. And we're just doing the foam tape. All right, the angle here so that when you watch the finished version, you'll be able to see this part. And we'll just cut each of these parts here that we're not using. We want to make sure they connect. That's something that everyone made clear when they were making their shaker cards. That's the thing about these little curves, these fun intricate curves, is that we're doing a lot of moving kind of back and forth until we've covered each area. All right, see it's covering. And I will speed this up in the process video that I release, the edited version, so that you're not just watching me for like a few minutes trying to get the tape in place. But for right now, it's raw and unedited. And I can't wait to show you the end result. But guess what? This is the process, right? The process of becoming. It's not easy and it doesn't happen very quickly or overnight. It is a process that takes time. But the time that you invest prayerfully in the end will be worth it. So don't be afraid to invest the time in getting the results you want. That's in your business, that's in your creation, that's in everything in life, right? All right. After doing this work, it will be worth it after all. Show us your iPad. So I'm using my iPad to see you guys. I'm using my iPad to make sure that I can see your comments. If I use my iPad to record, then I would have to have my iPhone to see the comments. We're almost there. And remember, I am recording this to show you the end result later on, which will be a lot quicker. You barely see my face now because I'm seated. Just realizing that. And they have a thinner, what is this called? Foam tape. They have a thinner foam tape with scrapbook.com. But I bought this one at the local craft store because I wanted to start creating before I knew they were going to ship to me. So that's why I'm using the bigger one right now. But if you use a smaller, the smaller one, it will be easier to maneuver and to get in all the different areas without you having to cut it. Which right now, that's what I'm doing, is cutting all the areas. That we are getting here. We have one more to go. There we go. All right, this is the last one. You know what this reminds me of? Like the Star of David. Because it has all of these different corners and curves. On this side especially. Do you see that? this side. There we go. It reminds me of the Star of David on that side instead of the flower. Isn't that interesting? All right. And I'm going to just get this just a little bit of the excess that's showing on my end. You don't have to do that, but I'm doing it. All right, so we've got that. Let's add right now the sequins. So the sequins that I'm using goes with the color scheme. So I'm using our sequins here. And this I want to believe is like the mermaid pack. Yeah, because it has seashells. It's like seashells, and it has the same color teal, or that teal blue. All right, so we're gonna add just a little bit there. Oh, yay, look how it's coming together already. I'm so tempted to add some pink and some other things, but we're just gonna keep it like this. All right. And then I have so much like shimmer and fun little sparkles that I could use to add some gold definition. Let's see. I don't know if we want to keep it like that. What do y'all think? I feel like we need to add a little bit more sparkle. Can you see it? So we haven't secured it in yet, but do you guys think I need to add some gold or some other colors in there? Look, I have to go all the way over here for you guys to see it. Uh-oh. Let me know what you think. Dee, you're funny. Maybe next time. All right. I don't know if maybe we should add some more colors. I love colors. Let's do these. So I'm going to add a little bit more. I want some more colors. So we're adding this. This is Glitter Shapes. And it has the iridescent and pink right here. So that's what we're going to add. It kind of goes with the whole color scheme there. So we'll have just a little bit of that variation with our Hello Beautiful in the bottom. There we go. I think that'll be good now. You're so sweet. After all that we've been through, yes, oh my gosh. So the reason why they said you're supposed to use the powder is because this stuff does have a tendency of getting stuck in the areas, but it'll be fine. So we're just gonna remove the backings now. Make sure it's still connecting. And we're just about at the end. This is a whole process, so just finishing up removing the backings. And once again, because we cut them in so many little pieces, that is what is taking a while. But if we were to just have it all connect, like they have the version that the smaller ones that all connects, then you just literally go vroom and it's all off and ready to put on. All right, so we're finally, here we go. We just want to make sure that everything connects so that it doesn't fall through the cracks. And then we want to go ahead and make sure all of our sequins are put together on the inside. We don't want anyone to get left behind that isn't supposed to be left behind. There we go. All right, now that it's all there, let's go ahead and add our amazing backing here. Yay! All right. Hello, beautiful. Oh, look how fun that is. The shakers make any of you happy? The shakers make you happy too? Oh, that's so much fun. And you know how I always am doing this. I'm always taking the time. I think if we had just put it up a little bit further, but I don't want to have to go through, yeah, I think that's just fine. Oh my gosh, look how fun. our first shaker, live shaker. All right, you want to see it up close? There it is, guys. All right. Oh, so that was a fun, in-depth creation together, wasn't it? So what you can look forward to is the finished version of this, and then, oh, this is so much fun. And then I'm going to complete these cards, and I am fresh and have my energy tomorrow. That's what I will do, and then we will get the finished process video up so you guys can enjoy that later this week. And thank you for joining me live here today. I cannot wait. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this into an actual card. I really love how this turned out. Oh, look at that. So much fun. You could either stick this on a card by itself, or you can cut out the shape and make the back part a flower card. And that's what I was thinking about doing. And that would require me to use the actual cuddle bug. All right, so thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Oh my gosh, I know we went through quite a number of ways to make this right, and I just love and appreciate you. Hope you rest sweetly tonight. I had that up backwards. Rest sweetly tonight and have sweet, pleasant, delightful dreams. And I'm looking forward to the next time that we create together. I know, right? Victory! Oh my gosh, victory is mine. Victory is yours. Victory today is ours. And so I do intend to actually use some pops of color on this actual shaker card. So I will do that and add that portion on the process video that is final that we do end up releasing. So thanks for hanging out with me. I can't wait to get this out to you, and just thanks for hanging in there. So you have a blessed rest of your evening, and I'll see you again very, very soon. You guys are amazing. Stay radiant, and as always, continue to fearlessly create. Yay! Together we shall. Love you guys. Bye.